The following program is brought to you by Blood, Sweat, Tears, and listeners like you. To support this show and all of the shows within Twib Nation, consider becoming a subscriber of our pay service, The Twibularity, at twib.me/subscribe. That's twib.me/subscribe. Or you can give a one-time donation at donate.twib.me. That's donate.twib.me. We've all learned how important media is and who tells our stories. Help us be the media that you want to hear and that the media is afraid to hear. It's kind of hard to listen to yourself become irrelevant.
You are now listening to Twib FM. Real talk, real awesome.
Good afternoon. Today is Monday, August 17th, and today on Twib Prime, the Bernie Sanders campaign offers an apology to Black Lives Matter activists, and then Bernie Sanders went on TV and retracted it. Police in Trenton shoot a 14-year-old black kid 7 times, and he lived to tell the tale. And the 300 Men March is happening, and the media is not paying attention. All this and more with Team Blackness on Twib Prime.
So from now on, whenever you hear these horns, just know you are now entering the blackness. Collard greens, cornbread, and the catfish. Malcolm X and Dr. King with a black fist. We are live, son. This is blackness. You are now entering the blackness. Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, and the classics. Real love, the opposite of ratchet. We are live, son. This is blackness. When they hear me, they say, let's go to Siri on the bed show. Clearly, that is not.
What is going on, folks? We are back. This is This Week in Blackness Prime. I am your host, Elon James White. With me, as per usual, is Team Blackness, consisting of Captain, Lieutenant, General, Professor. On occasion, he is some sort of doctor. He is the Negro Jon Snow in our Negro Game of Thrones. We have Aaron Rand Freeman. Sir.
Did anything terrible happen this weekend?
I'm sure it did. I wasn't.
Do you realize I think we made it to Monday without anything absolutely terrible happening? Like, I'm certain that some people were fucking up -1, but we got to Monday and our souls are not even like cracked or dented. We're reasonable.
See,
we've gotten into Monday being reasonable. I'm not. I'm
nope,
just saying.
Nope. I think that you're overestimating what's happened this weekend. I know for me personally, I just have not been paying attention.
That's perfectly fine. Usually you know how many, I mean, that's the thing. Elon, I know you're chilling on the weekends, but how many times do you get direct message or someone's like, Elon, get on the internet. And then you have to get on the internet and drag to the terrible news because it's so terrible they demand your presence like Superman.
It happens.
No one dragged you to the internet this weekend.
I feel like people were trying. I just like it really was a thing, and the fact is that like I decided that we needed to get back on video. So basically my weekend was trying to figure out how to make this work and stream. So if you actually are at home listening live, you can actually go to what apparently the stream is not working, which is hilarious because I know for a fact that we tested everything. Actually, but when you say it's not working, because I'm pretty sure that it is working, Imani.
Well, Nate on Twitter is saying he can't find the video stream. I just clicked to twib.me/watch, and it's just a ping of the.
Well, I mean, that doesn't mean that it's not working. That just means that people are having a bit of an issue, and that's fine because we can give them the YouTube page. The YouTube live page is actually up and running. That's actually just youtube.com, I think, /Twib Nation. I'll put that out as well. But the stream is now. Don't scare me like that, madam. I've been working on this whole time. Like that. What you?
Well, the link I should have said. The link.
Yeah, that particular link. Don't, madam. That's like I feel like you don't care about my soul.
I love your soul, Elon.
Also with us,
your soul and your
I
levels.
didn't even get to a chance to introduce you before you started like jumping the gun as per usual.
I'm a gun jumper in chief. What do you expect? Jeez.
She's angry. She's black. She's some sort of lady. She's the founder of the Angry Black Lady Chronicles. She is the senior legal analyst here in Twib Nation. She's also a problem and a half, and as we have already established, the in fact gun jumper in chief. We have Imani Gandhi, ma'am.
I mean, I feel like every time you introduce me, you've got all these labels for me, but then when I act in accordance with those labels, every time you seem surprised.
You know what? Yeah. Because I at some point I think like, well, at some point she's gonna like, you know what? Maybe I should. Maybe this is like Aaron eventually stopped doing the thing that made us call him Doctor, Lieutenant General, right. Professor. He eventually was like, all right, maybe I shouldn't do this. But you're like stubborn. I am shocked. I am shocked.
Amani's becoming beloved for the thing that you're trying to mock her for. She's got a cult following of people that want to see her do it.
That is
exactly
true.
That thing.
It's true. They love Promo Cat.
Some way people around me were like, "Stop making shit up," and I was like, "Cool." Everybody wants Imani to essentially push over the desk every episode.
I eventually we're gonna have to get Imani to stop making up shit. I mean, you don't make up shit for the most part.
Me?
For the most part.
I don't make up. Oh no, I don't make up. I trade in facts, sir. Facts and logic. Now that doesn't mean I won't flip over a table in the meantime, but I will do it factually and logically.
Okay, I will go along with your current theory. We do this Monday to Thursday. We have a docket full of shenanigans, tomfoolery, what have you. But we, as we've mentioned in the past, currently we don't have a new chief of staff at the moment. So we're going to have to actually go back to old school reminders. Ms. Gandhi, could you please give us some reminders?
Really?
I'm going to hope that you are reasonable in this, but I promise nothing.
It's my time to shine. I don't even remember what the reminders are.
My God, you've complained about the fact that you couldn't give reminders forever.
I just got so used to pre-recorded Robin Jordan.
Yes, I'm hopeful when our new chief of staff comes in, we will have a new pre-recorded person who gives the reminders around this. But until then, could you remind us of some things?
I can. If you would like to subscribe to the Tribularity, that's twib.me/subscribe. You can get all of our little shows, little perks. Elon might give you a foot rub.
Okay, first of all, stop offering that.
No foot rubs? Okay, I've been informed that there will be no foot rubs. But you should still subscribe because it's a great service and you'll be supporting independent black media. That's us. If you don't have money to subscribe, but you would just like to throw money at us in our general Throw Money At Us fund, you can go to donate.twib.me. That's donate.twib.me. If you are an Amazon shopper, even though you might not want to be an Amazon shopper after that expose in the New York Times.
I haven't even seen it
Lord,
yet.
did you read that shit?
I haven't gotten a chance yet.
Whew. Wow. At any rate, but if you still shop on Amazon because, savings and Amazon Prime and you need shit delivered to your door in 24 hours, you can go to amazon.twib.me. We get a little referral, a little kickback, a little money for our pockets, and you get to support us without really having to go out of your way to do anything extraordinary at all. If you would like to donate your account, are we still doing that? Is that a thing that's still happening?
That's still. I mean, I don't know why you thought that wasn't happening. It's still. Have you been told it's not happening anymore?
I don't know.
I mean,
a lot of stuff happens around
unless
here.
you have been told that it has not. Madam, you just do it.
All right. So if you want to donate,
Just do the thing.
you want to donate your account, go to
$20 money.
twib.me.
I'm
If you want to donate to your account, go to twib.me/DYA. That's twib.me/DYA. If you would like to give your beleaguered hosts a fuck or two, and if you have been following either Elon or me on Twitter, you know that we need a lot of fucks because we are clean out of them. I think I had one over the weekend and I just gave it like last night. I was like, whoop, here it goes, the last fuck I give. So you can go to fucks.twib.me, buy us some fucks, do yourself a fucking favor, buy us some fucks, fuckity fuck, fucks.
Really? Are you just abusing that?
Hey man, why not? I'm just trying to get it out.
That's
It's
called
jazz. It's fuck jazz.
Okay, first of all, there's no such thing
Might be.
as there's madam.
I don't know. I feel like I feel like you are putting me in a box.
Yes.
And you want me to stay in the box.
I
don't
would
belong in a box.
I really?
I'm a black woman. I belong outside the box.
I thought that's where cats live, in boxes. Oh
That's a
snap!
good point. Good
oh
point.
snap!
That's
Are
good.
you a
That's
promo?
good.
Are you
That's
promo cat? Or are you not promo?
I
cat?
am affiliated with PromoCat.
Really?
Yes.
So
PromoCat and I have a loose association, a coalition, if you will, coalition of the willing.
Someone actually said last week when we were talking about this, and I made the commentary about being problematic Bruce Wayne. Someone said that obviously if I'm Bruce Wayne I'm Bruce Wayne to Black Man, then Amani is clearly promo Catwoman, and Aaron is Nightwing or Blackwing, whatever one you want to hear.
Promo Catwoman, I like it.
That's first of all, I'm not sure I'm for this either.
What are you talking about? You get to be Batman.
First of all, did I not explain that Batman is a problem?
Yeah, but he's your
that is the
favorite.
one thing that I learned from playing through the awesome Arkham City or Asylum or whatever, Arkham Knight. Yes, that Bruce Wayne is a problem. Aaron, would you not agree?
Oh yeah, Batman. Now that I'm 32 and I Batman's got problems, and he's still great. Eventually someone will have to go stop Batman at some point.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, no. In all honesty, if I was in that world, I would totally end up becoming a supervillain just because I'm like, listen, Batman's a problem. Did you not see what he keeps he's doing? Like, where's Homeland Security? Where's Homeland Security? Batman literally like went around and started running and doing all types of crazy nonsense in Gotham when the whole time it's just like, man, we should just have the military. Where's the military action? Should they come in? Apparently the enemy has taken over a city and they keep yelling it's about Batman and Batman's like, no, I'm gonna handle this. Batman is an asshole. Batman needs to be taken aside and have a very, very serious talking to, like Bat Mama or something like, oh wait, she's dead.
Right. See, now don't you feel bad?
Nope.
It's too soon, Elon. It's too soon.
No, really? It's too soon since Barbara and Martha Wayne was murdered? It's too soon?
It's always too soon.
Always too soon to talk about the Waynes. Clearly, from their son's actions, it's always too soon.
No, I reject everything that you're saying. The fact is that Batman needs to be dealt with. And the fact is that, like, we now that I've gotten older, like, because I'm the one who's been defending Batman, I feel so bad because I'm a big Batman fan. I'm always like, no, Batman, there's a reason why Batman's doing what he's doing. There's a good reason. And this time I'm like, nope, and nope, and nope. Amani, where are you up in the game? You beat the game early, right?
No, I haven't because my Xbox One power brick died like 3 weeks ago. So I actually went back and replayed Arkham City, which was fun because I'd forgotten what happened in Arkham City. And it still holds up. There aren't a lot. I have found that some games do not hold up on 360. Dragon Age, the second Dragon Age, does not hold up. But Arkham City really does. So you might want to go back and play that. The boss fight. There were really cool boss fights in Arkham City, and I haven't come across any of those in Arkham Knight. I feel like they replaced all the boss fights with all those crazy Batmobile things you have to do, running around trying to chase those little fucking fuckers. I hate those things.
First of all, you just used all your F's in one film.
Because those I hate those things. You're like creeping around.
But do you hate those things?
I hate those things.
I get the vibe that you might,
I don't like them.
I don't know. I'm just thinking about that.
I don't like them.
Hate those things.
I hate those things.
And now you have no F's. So I hope you wasted your F's when you should have held them.
Whatever.
Because there are other things that we have to discuss.
I am living outside the box, my friend.
What is this box that you keep speaking of?
It's a box outside of which I'm living.
Amani just tries me. This is what I feel like. Amani's always just like how can I try Elon today? I have a plan. News one. Actually, by the way, I'm trying to buy a little time because I realized that I didn't have the news brief loaded. So I'm just like, oh, where did I put that news brief? They're in there somewhere. Blah blah blah. We have a new setup here, and so we have we have the video going. Like I said, you can look at it. I tweeted it out on our Twitter account, on the main Twitter account, my Twitter account, and it's been shared on Facebook and all that good stuff. But I totally, like I said, forgot to actually maybe put the freaking news briefs in the damn folder where the news briefs would be very much useful. But I would like to argue I should get a pass because we're on video.
We're on video. What?
I mean, Amani has threatened me for quite some time about putting us on video.
I really like being on video. Then I can just look at myself.
Really? That's why?
Yep, I like looking at myself.
Yeah, that's why you did it.
Mm-hmm.
It is fun to have access to your own face while you're doing it. It is.
Actually, you know what? Until I can actually find the news brief. Oh, Amani, why don't you hit our docket while I figure this out?
Should we hit it like a boss?
Just
hit it meekly?
Softly.
Hit it softly?
Rub it a little bit. What? I can't rub it. You can't rub it. I
don't want to rub the docket. I don't want to.
Sometimes you got to rub the docket, Amani. I feel like that's your problem, Amani.
That I refuse to rub the docket. Maybe the docket doesn't want to be rubbed. Is this consensual? The docket didn't get a say.
Listen, the docket. I've spoken to the docket.
Have you?
I've spoken to the docket.
Okay.
The docket. This is what the docket wants. This is what the docket needs.
Okay.
Get up on it.
All right. You may recall the Martise Johnson case from last March.
Let's hit the docket.
Really, Elon? That ain't even right. No.
That's right.
Her body when you hit.
Hold on. The music's too hot. It's too hot. What do you say, Aaron?
Do you see the soul leave her body when you hit the music in the rubber room? I never saw that before. She was just.
I just want to come in here and be a professional and not be trolled by the docket.
Do you?
No, not really.
Do you?
So you may recall the Martise Johnson case. He was the UVA student who was violently arrested back in March by a couple of ABC officers, the Alcohol Bureau. They're those people. They're not really police officers. They're just like officers of booze and shit. That's what I'm going to call them.
I don't think that's a title.
Officers of Booze and Shit?
I don't get. No, I believe I looked
like-
into this, and that is in fact not the title
I
that
feel
they go by.
alcoholic-
Officers of Booze and Shit.
Okay, fine. It's alcohol beverage control.
Okay.
But it's basically booze and shit.
Why don't you get closer to the microphone?
Why don't you get closer to my microphone?
What?
Ah, see? Outside the box. So there was an independent review that was called after a bunch of students protested. They protested through Charlottesville, ended up at the Charlottesville PD. People were holding signs that said Black Lives Matter and Justice for Martise. And there will be no justice for Martise. There was the investigation concluded. There was a statement that was released last Monday. But we didn't get to it because we were all up in Bernie Sanders and shit. What? And the Virginia Department of Alcohol Beverage Control removed the agents while pending the investigation, but they determined that there were no violations, and those agents are now back on duty, ready to kick another Negro in the head.
That's not. I don't think that's what they. You're
Well,
making me sad, Amani.
I mean, we all saw the video.
We did.
It didn't look like it was just a normal arrest or look like
It
something that
didn't.
should be happened. Certainly didn't look
It
like
didn't.
something that would have happened to a white kid.
I mean, I have a hard time
Right.
thinking that. Yes.
So I submit to you, sir,
I mean,
that these agents are now free to go and kick another Negro in the head.
Aaron.
Yeah, that's I like how we waited. At least we waited about 20 minutes before we started really breaking people down. I didn't know. I didn't read the docket, so this is a total surprise to me. So it's good to know that despite the video, which is pretty cut and dry, not cut and dry enough. Good to know. At least we waited. So good job, guys.
All right. Fun
Yeah.
with that. What else? Stop your damn thumbs up, Aaron.
What? We waited. We didn't just break everyone. People had some fun. They see our faces. I'm properly moisturized. A lot of positive stuff. We talked about Batman.
He doesn't have Legionnaire's disease anymore.
Good.
Are you sure you don't have Legionnaires?
I'm better than I was last week. I'm not gonna die.
Not
but
sitting
I-
on any dirty turlets.
Yeah, Aaron. Where's your ass been?
Inflation sucks. We'll say inflation sucks.
Yeah, Aaron, where's your ass been?
You know what? I'm not doing this anymore.
Okay.
I think I finally do have the news brief up, if it works or not. So we're gonna have a little bit of pre-recorded not Robin Jordan, Jared Hill. But by the way, because we haven't gotten Jared on video yet, check out his headshot. This is hilarious. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Jared Hill, and this is the Twit Prime News Brief for Monday, August 17th, 2015. Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders said on NBC's Meet the Press that he doesn't believe that he owes the Black Lives Matter protest movement an apology, even though his own staff already apologized to them. Host Chuck Todd began by asking Sanders about a BuzzFeed piece revealing that his campaign had reached out to Black Lives Matter protesters after they stormed the stage of a Sanders rally and took his mic. The campaign's African-American outreach director Marcus Farrell told them in an email, "I apologize, it took our campaign so long." Sanders said that was sent out by a staffer, not by him, and that his campaign is reaching out to all kinds of groups, and that he, quote, absolutely met with the folks at Black Lives Matter. Morgan Freeman's 33-year-old granddaughter, Adina Hines, was fatally stabbed early Sunday in the Washington Heights neighborhood of New York, according to multiple sources. The 30-year-old man was arrested at the scene and brought to Columbia Presbyterian Medical Center for a mental evaluation, but he has not yet been charged, according to the New York Daily News. Police reportedly responded to a call around 3 a.m. and found Hines in the street with multiple stab wounds. She was taken to the Harlem hospital and later pronounced dead. The investigation is ongoing. Sunday, Freeman released a statement on his Facebook page saying, "I want to acknowledge the tremendous outpouring of love and support for my family during this tragic and senseless passing of my granddaughter, Adina Hines. Thank you from the bottom of my heart." LeBron James is taking his love for his hometown of Akron, Ohio, a step further, announcing that he will fund over 1,000 kids' educations with a scholarship fund to the University of Akron, Ohio, according to ESPN. Through a partnership between the school and his LeBron James Family Foundation, the 1,100 children currently in his I Promise program will receive a fully sponsored scholarship. He said, quote, "I think it's probably one of the best things I've ever been a part of," end quote. That story coming from Huffington Post. And Straight Outta Compton opened on Friday in more than 2,700 theaters nationwide. Despite the projected success, the studio that made the movie, Universal Pictures, paid for extra security in some theaters. Why? Well, that depends on who you ask. Law enforcement officers told CBS 6 in Virginia that this extra security is mainly for the volume of people they expect and to ensure their safety. Some of the theaters saying they normally add extra police for movies expecting to draw a large crowd, but some of those attending the film on Friday said they did not necessarily buy that. They believe that the subject of the movie, the group that it's about, NWA, and race play a part. Oh, and as a side note, Straight Outta Compton broke a box office record this weekend with the biggest opening for an R-rated film in August with $56.1 million. And for those who are out here nerding hard in these streets, there's an alert from the Huffington Post. Star Wars fans, you might want to save up some of those vacation days. During the D23 Expo on Saturday, Disney revealed that Star Wars Land is coming to both Disneyland in Anaheim, California, and Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. Disney CEO Bob Iger announced that the Star Wars lands will be the largest themed land expansion, featuring 14 acres of all things Star Wars. According to Variety, Iger told the audience, quote, "These new lands at Disneyland and Walt Disney World will transport guests to a whole new Star Wars planet, including an epic Star Wars adventure that puts you in the middle of a climactic battle between the First Order and the Resistance." And Twib nerds, get life. I've just tweeted out the photos for you to check out with force-filled delight. You can jump into the hashtag TwibNation on Twitter and check them out. This has been a Twib News Brief. I'm Jared Hill. Now, back to Team Blackness.
All right. Thank you, pre-recorded Jared Hill. Soon we'll have Jared Hill on video itself, and everyone can stop body rolling. Thank you. In the studio, like literally everyone broke out into a body roll on that. That's a little ridiculous. But we will have Jared Hill on there, even though I just saw that Jared Hill tweeted at me, my headshot is not funny, Elon James, old hateful ass. Listen, light-skinned Negro, it's okay. It's kind of funny. It's like all headshots, like kind of sometimes are funny. Because like they're clearly like they're a headshot and you're doing stuff like, look at me, I'm happy and I'm in a cityscape. Or look at me, I'm serious and contemplative, but I'm in hills. Like there's a look to headshots that are just kind of funny. Am I crazy, Imani?
I don't think you're crazy, but I do enjoy that picture because he looks so darn cheerful. Look, he looks like he just graduated from Howard and is ready to go into the world.
Bring that headshot back up on the screen. Yeah, like that's like, hi, I am full of light skin goodness and joy. Look at me, like I am just I have all of it. Like I just saw Drake destroy Meek Mills. Just saw it. I got swagger.
How about we stop calling him TV's Jared Hill and just call him Stock Photos Jared Hill?
That's totally like one of those shots where you like if you wanted to
just Google Negro and he's like the fifth one down.
Yeah, like if you need like a professional Negro, like you use that stock photo of him, like like if you want people to like go to your graduate program, like come do so and so graduate program, you just show a picture of Jared.
Definitely. I'm on board for that. You
can leave that. Please leave this, the headshot alone, director Emily, because at some point I don't want Jared Hill to come beat me up. Thanks for that. Because Emily just has the shot up the whole time. She just left it there for a while. That's funny. All right, what else? Actually, you know what? After this commercial break, because we still have to do commercial breaks, even though we don't have our full-on video commercial breaks yet. But until then, we will be back with more on our docket. Stay tuned. Magic shall ensue.
Out of your lexicon, hop steady, rock box. Stick a snapping while you suckers way nervous. I'm great with the body rock service. The sick, but the situation is strong. Super creeps got an armor sleeve, cardiac attack, and they strong.
Hi, this is Elon James White, CEO and founder of This Week in Blackness Media. We love our audience and we know you all want us to survive, but you don't always have the means to support us financially the way you'd like to. Well, if you shop at Amazon, you can still help Twib. Go to amazon.twib.me, that's amazon.twib.me, and then shop. We get a referral and you get the product you need at no extra cost. It's a quick and easy way to support and help us grow in this space. That's amazon.twib.me. Help us be the media that you want to hear and that the media needs to hear.
Are you ready for our pleasure? Want to dissect sexy? Join me, Najay Laree, on Twib After Dark with Aaron Rand Freeman, where we get all up in the intersection of feminism, sex positivity, and identity. We also interview awesome movers and shakers in the world of professional pleasure. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. For all access to extras, exclusives, and commercial-free content, subscribe to the Twibularity at twib.me/subscribe. Help us bring the media you want to hear and the media needs to hear.
What up, family?
You are listening to Twit Prime with Elon James White, right here on Twit FM.
It's a beautiful struggle.
All right, I believe we still have some more action here on the docket, don't we, Imani? Don't you have some stories for people to hear?
To rehear?
To rehear?
Yeah.
I almost said read. I realized that was not the right word.
It's
rehear.
Good. Yeah, why not? Yeah, California has banned the use of grand juries in police shooting cases. It's SB 227. It was authored by Senator Holly Mitchell from Los Angeles. In the wake of grand juries failing to indict police officers who kill unarmed black men in Ferguson, Missouri, and Staten Island, New York, last year, California took a look at its grand jury process and decided to take it out of the grand jury's hands and to place it in the prosecutor's hands. So now when it comes to police shootings, the prosecutors are going to decide whether or not the cop in question should face criminal charges. Jerry Brown just recently signed that bill. It's very exciting. I mean, it's not exciting. It is kind of exciting because at least now in California, if the LAPD gets out of pocket, then it's the prosecutors who are going to decide, not grand juries. Now, the question becomes, are the prosecutors shit? Sometimes they ain't shit. So we'll find out. But at the same time that he signed the grand jury's bill, he also signed the Right to Record Act. That was last Tuesday, and he signed that act. It clarifies civilians' right to record police officers in police officer-civilian interactions.
Interesting.
Yes.
I mean, I like you said, I'm just a little bit nervous because like prosecutors sometimes are not the greatest in those, as we saw in Ferguson, where someone who clearly should have stepped away didn't, and even with the fact that he showed stuff that wasn't even relevant to the case.
Not just irrelevant, but like stuff that was false.
Clearly false.
Right.
He decided to show in there, so it makes me nervous. But at least I'm hoping that maybe this does something. I mean, hopefully, possibly, Aaron.
I don't trust America. I'm happy that things are happening. I like when things move, but I don't trust America. I'm a cynic now. The summer has made me a cynic. So now I'm sorry, I'm going to become uncynical.
The summer made you a cynic? It wasn't everything leading up to this. It was the summer.
It might have been the previous 5 years plus the summer.
A little bit. Tiny bit.
I'm now a cynic. No matter how I got there, I don't believe shit. So here we are.
All right. What else do we have on the docket, madam? That sounds so together.
Well, I mean, it's not a great story. At least the kid lived, but a 14-year-old black kid was shot 7 times by...
I'm sorry. I'm confused by what you just said because it sounded like you just said a 14-year-old black kid was shot 7 times.
Yes.
Was the kid in the middle of currently, I don't know, robbing 5 banks?
Oh no, it was the old he reached for his waistband script that the police love to tell. He was shot 7 times when he was attempting to run away from police officers. He's in stable condition at Capitol Health Regional Medical Center in Trenton. He was shot 5 times in the right leg, once in the left leg, and he has a bullet lodged in his pelvis. There's a witness named Rhonda Tirado was sitting in front of her home on Friday evening when she saw an unmarked gray minivan abruptly stop across the street, and 3 police officers got out to question a trio of teens. Ms. Tirado said that she didn't think that the little boys had any clue what was going on, and that it was a matter of them being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And the cop said that the young man, his name is Radaz Hearns, reached for his waistband, as they always do. It's always somebody reaching for a waistband. And then they just shot him in the back. Not in the back, but shot him as he was running. So shot at his back and managed to get him in the leg 5 times. And yeah.
Right.
So that's where we are. And that happened Friday night. And I didn't even hear about it because it's just it seems like every day I look at Twitter and I just go, really?
Yeah, there's always something.
You know, really?
There's always something. That's why I found that just sometimes, as much as I don't like it, like this weekend, like I actively stayed off Twitter. There were times when I would jump on, and at this point, if I'm on Twitter for more than 15 minutes, I end up cussing someone out. Because people just, it's almost like they wait for you to come on to say some ridiculousness to just literally come and just like, huh? Are you here? Are you here right now? Did you know what? All lives matter. it's like really just like you just waited for me to come back and hey, are you back on?
Bernie marched with King.
Bernie marched with King. I'm just like, dude, that's whoop-de-fucking-do for Bernie. Like, please stop saying, there's no reason to say it. Like, that's cool. But hey, hey, maybe if you guys worried about black-on-black crime. Like, it's just like, I'm so tired of all of the just random shit thrown at me for no apparent reason. All right, so, you know what, why don't we get into this thing that was all over the news earlier, because of what's happening in the news. You might not have seen this, but if you were paying attention, you might have heard about it, that Bernie Sanders was on Meet the Press this weekend, and Chuck Todd decided to question him about what happened around Black Lives Matter and a apology that the campaign had supposedly sent out. Let's see that clip.
Senior groups. We're reaching out to healthcare
No, that's
groups.
not the clip is not
that
set up.
everybody in
Go
America
back.
is entitled to healthcare.
Go back.
We're reaching out to every.
My director did not rewind that clip for me.
I did actually.
Apparently, how you gonna tell me you? See, this is what happens. Like even this is why you can't be married to your director, because you're like, hey, the clip's not rewound, and she's like, but I rewound it. He's like, but clearly the clip started at a point where it was not rewound. So how is that possible? Alas, well, let's try that again, madam. There's a clip that went from Meet the Press this weekend.
BuzzFeed has an article out this morning. Headline is this: Sanders campaign reaches out to Black Lives Matter activists. Quote, I apologize. It took our campaign so long. Tell me more about it.
Well, that was sent out by a staffer, not by me. Look, we are reaching out to all kinds of groups. Absolutely. I met with folks at Black Lives Matter.
Pause.
We're reaching out to Latino groups. We're reaching out to the unions. We're fighting.
So, yeah, it's true that he reached out to Black Lives Matter. I know for a fact, because I saw Black Lives Matter folks at a meeting that he didn't show up to. Yeah, and by the way, because I can hear it now. Oh, Elon's is attacking Sanders. I'm not attacking Sanders. This is not, and look at my face. This is not an attack. This is what you call quoting facts or an observation of things that you witnessed. Sometimes you can do that. Sometimes you go like, I actually was aware of that situation, and that's not exactly how that went down. And also, just to be clear, because apparently this is something else that's been going around. Apparently, Hillary Clinton reached out to DeRay McKesson, and it was reported that they reached out to Black Lives Matter. And it was like, well, that's not, DeRay is not actually, he doesn't run Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, this is the movement, right?
I mean, I'm not sure if there's a org that DeRay is. I mean, I'm not saying there isn't, but I feel like it's not an org per se where people are joining and being participating, because there are people that are very vocal within the movement. There are people who are organizers. There's various different types of things, and sometimes people who are vocal also do some organizing. I believe DeRay has done some. So I know that Netta has organized various types of actions and things like that. But then there are other things, and Black Lives Matter is in fact an organization, and that you can't just say if you spoke to someone who's black, or if they ever that's what people keep trying to do to me, Amani. They keep trying to be like, oh, so and so about Black Lives Matter, and I always go like, hi, I do not run Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm not a member of Black Lives Matter. Hi, I do not have any say within Black Lives Matter whatsoever. Just because I support what they're doing, because I don't know, we're dying in the streets and they're actually doing some work about it, I don't actually run. I know that I'm black. And I know that I've said that Black Lives Matter, because apparently you motherfuckers don't really understand that. But that doesn't make me a member of Black Lives Matter.
Oh, yeah. People, I mean, I've had people in the comments of the last 3 articles that I've written about Bernie Sanders, which have caused a bit of a stir, if I do say so myself. But I've had people basically assume that I organized the Seattle protest.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm not all black people are the same.
Is Black Lives Matter a secret black ninja cabal with no leader that wants to ever be found? Is that the point? Like, is it just like water? It just flows and there's no. Because I feel like we've had no trouble finding people.
We find people anytime we reach out. Like literally, I'm like, hey, I want to talk to somebody. I want to ask a question about this. Like when they were asking about the petition, people were like, oh, so how do you explain this petition calling for Marissa and Nara to be apologize to Bernie Sanders? I was like, I can't say anything. Why don't you ask, I don't know, Patrice Cullors or of course Alicia Garza. And literally, I just tagged them, and Patrice was like, "Yeah, we didn't do that." Immediately, It was like within like a half hour. Yeah, we didn't do that. It's not that complicated to talk to these folks. It's not that complicated to reach out to them. The fact is that people just don't seem to actually want to do their job.
They have talking points. They have talking points, and the talking points are that those two women are not affiliated with Black Lives Matter. They were rude and unruly. They're ruining our cause. You know, and they're alienating allies. They are attacking an old white man. They shoved him and they assaulted him. Apparently, I don't like Bernie Sanders because I don't like Jewish people, which that's news to me. Because you know.
I mean, I know you hide behind the whole concept of like, I'm Jewish because my mom is Jewish, or I'm a Jew, so I'm not being you hide by that. But I mean, I see that Negro Shade 13. You're clearly not. Sorry about that. I mean,
there are black Jews. I'm basically Jewish for the jokes.
That's not you. I don't believe you're allowed to say that. Actually, our current
resident Jew,
our current resident Jewish correspondent
from Caucasia
says no. You're not allowed to do that. Okay. Listen, I need you to get whatever your life is together. All right. What else? What else? But yeah, like this whole thing with. I actually go back. I forgot. We're in the middle. He's still talking. Let the man cook.
To expand Social Security, and we're reaching out to senior groups. We're reaching out to healthcare groups because we believe that everybody in America is entitled to healthcare. We're reaching out to everybody.
I understand that, but you said a staffer put it out. But you felt an apology was necessary?
No, I don't. I think we're going to be working with all groups. This was sent out without my knowledge.
He basically went. He said all lives, like all groups matter, right? No, I don't think I owe them. So here's the thing: even if you don't think that that Bernie Sanders owed Black Lives Matter activists an apology, the fact of the matter is his campaign sent one out. Marcus Farrell sent one out.
Do we know that for a fact that it was specifically Marcus Farrell who did it?
Yes, it was Marcus Farrell.
What was that? Who said that? Who confirmed that?
BuzzFeed.
BuzzFeed confirmed that it was Marcus Farrell.
Yeah.
Because it so happens to be that I met with that gentleman during our non-meeting with Sanders, and he was there and he was a part of that group. And so I find it interesting that dude, who, by the way, was really trying to make sure everything was cool and mend fences and all that type of stuff. And so, okay, I'm just going to say this, and you take it the way you want, because I'm sure someone will, and it'll be a blog post somewhere about how I hate Bernie Sanders. I don't. The argument can be made very easily that perhaps Sanders might have wanted to apologize for, I don't know, having people like specifically take time to go and speak to him and deal with him directly, and then he canceled on them because, I mean, like, I was not the only one in that room. A lot of people were there. I believe I saw Tia Oso going towards the room when I was actually leaving. I saw, like, people were going to have this meeting, which no one was there for. And so maybe that's just how politics works, and that's not worthy of an apology for wasting your time. I know that because people kept saying that I was annoyed because I got snubbed. It's like, actually, I didn't really care about that. Like, in honesty, if he didn't want a meeting, whatever. Whatever. That is what it is.
You don't set up a meeting and then abandon it, though.
You don't do that. And two, for me, it was actually really annoying, Amani, because at that very moment, at that exact moment when I was wasting my time in the non-meeting, I was supposed to be downstairs having the interview with O'Malley, dealing with his thing. Mm-hmm. So Eldroy ended up doing the interview solo because I got pulled away to specifically do this thing, and I got pulled away early, by the way, because they needed to do this, and then there was no one there. So professionally, it actually screwed me,
right?
In that, and then just like it's just rude. Don't do that. And the fact is, like, you can speak out, and the thing is, if he would have just said, yeah, we had a bit of a miscommunication, it was problematic, but I reached out to them, I have apologized, and because the thing is, like, he keeps saying he reached out to who?
Yeah.
Who are you reaching out to? Because, like, Black Lives Matter, there is actually a national org. Who are you reaching out to?
Just a random black person on the street.
Or someone who said Black Lives Matter one time. I think once you say Black Lives Matter, you all of a sudden become a member and a person who could speak on Black Lives Matter because you are black and said Black Lives. You have to be black as well, Emily. Because see, correspondent from Caucasia was like, Black Lives Matter. You can ask me questions. We will not. But yeah,
fundamentally. It was an unforced error. There was no reason for Bernie Sanders to get on TV and basically retract an apology that had already been extended. And an apology that Black Lives Matter activists and supporters were like, saw as a olive branch, saw as a step forward for Bernie Sanders, who's been sort of under, I mean, he seems to be growing in his awareness about racial justice issues. His racial justice platform is fantastic, but his supporters are kind of.
And by the way, let's be clear on this. It's gotten to where it is right now because of the pressure because there wasn't a laid out thing. And I believe they even said that they started working specifically
after
on this
Netroots.
After Netroots,
yes.
after being called out about it. Because not to be funny, and I will say this, I've said it before. You know what you don't do? Start a presidential campaign where you expect a significant portion of the black vote to come out and support you, and you don't acknowledge a thing that's been literally in the news for like a year straight with like ridiculous magnitude. Like it's you probably should, I don't know, have something on that.
Right.
Maybe a little tiny bit.
And you know, he could have gained, I think, a lot of ground with black people if he'd said, you know, the apology was sent without my knowledge, but I stand by it, I support it, and Black Lives Matter is an important issue, blah, blah, blah. But what you don't say is, oh no, I don't think there needs to be an apology, because I don't remember where I read this. I think it might have been in the Twitter feed of one of our listeners. Cultured State is his Twitter handle, and I don't want to say his name because he might be like, you know, trying to keep his identity separate from his Twitter handle. Mm-hmm. But he was saying that he had read that Bernie Sanders was running this sort of freestyle, anything goes, like, hey man, how you doing campaign, where he doesn't really know what's going on with all of his staffers. He's not really in control of the messaging. So it's sort of like this free range, like gluten-free, GMO-free, locally sourced campaign where he's got people that are just out there saying shit, apologizing to people, and then he's going on national TV and being like, yeah, well, that went out without my knowledge. It makes you look disorganized.
Forget makes you look. Actually, what I'm thinking is that the argument will be that it was some rogue campaign staff person that did it. To me, what it looks like is, one, if I was the campaigner, dude, if I was the staffer, this might be my last day.
Yeah.
You ain't going to be going out there after I reach out. I'm trying to clean up your mess, basically. And then you're like, well, I didn't know it was without my knowledge. And not, it's like, okay, so you... Okay, I mean, because one of the reasons that was mentioned, I believe, even around the Seattle disruption, was the fact that there wasn't any acknowledgement of any. Because and Amani, I feel like this is also cultural, because like I know for a fact, like within my family, like between me and my wife, we discussed this quite a bit, because like on her side of the family.
Tread lightly.
On her side of the family, there doesn't need to be like a specific apology. Like people just like move on, and I've been told that by many people who are supposedly Sanders supporters, just move on, just moves forward, forget about that. And I come from a family and a culture in general where like at some point you're supposed to acknowledge what just happened, like the whatever bullshit occurred. You go, so hey. Like me and my mom, if we get into a huge fight or whatever, at some point, please note, we won't hold it forever. But when next time we talk, we're like, so hey, that thing that happened. So this is why I was pissed off. This was that problem. Do you understand why? Okay, and then we go through it. Am I weird, Aaron? How does your family work?
I'll be honest with you. My family did not do that. We were not nearly as communicative as your family, and that explains a lot. I did not know that about you, but that explains a lot.
What the idea that like you have a moment where you just go like, hey, so this, because Aaron, like even if me and you have like beef, I'll like, so Aaron, so here's my issue with you, blah 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 blah, and I lay it out very clearly before so we can move on. You can't just like walk away.
That's you, and that is something I learned as an adult. And God bless your mom for do that when you were 9. Shit.
All right, man. Apparently, I'm the weirdo, Amani. How did your family work?
I don't know. we just sat around and read books.
You guys never had like beef or anything like that?
I was an asshole as a child, and I just did my own thing, and my parents tried to control me and did the best they could to make sure I stayed out of jail, and then turned out I was like a straight A student, so they couldn't really say shit. It was just.
All right.
I don't know what
so
she's
apparently,
saying.
I come from a weird world where you have to communicate.
I really think communication is rarely taught. We do not teach, especially we do not teach kids to speak up. We teach kids to shut up and go.
Oh no, okay, please understand. Like this was not like this wasn't something that I did like when I was like 10. When I was 10, it was like shut up, I mean, mama. You listen to what I say. This is something that in my adulthood that we've come to a very clear understanding that like
as an adult, yes, okay, then yes, as an adult.
As an adult, yeah. I mean, but like, please, I believe that communication was always important, but I didn't get to actually call it down until I was an adult. And I was like, so hey, I'm an adult. I'm an adult. You will acknowledge my adulthood. He was like, all right, fine. But again, because if I pissed off my mom and tried to like just move on without actually having that conversation, nope.
Yeah.
Nope. What about nope?
How about nope?
What about nope? What else? And so this is just a silly, unforced error. He didn't have to like specifically go out there like there's an apology out there. I take it back. It's
right.
Like, dude, it's just this is bad politics. Unless you don't want to be seen. Like I think the argument is that like because Fox News and some folks keep calling him weak because of how the actions have occurred in his response. And I'm wondering maybe this is his attempt at not being weak, or maybe he just really doesn't think he thinks this is a good idea, which I don't understand how.
Yeah, Trump did kind of go after him and call him weak. And if that's the case, I mean, if that's what he's worried about, rather than the 95% of black votes that he's going to need to get in order to win, then that just doesn't make any sense. Why is he pandering to the Fox News crowd? Why is he going to Liberty U? Like, there's so many. I have questions, Elon.
Not to be funny, that's not even him pandering to the Fox News crew. That is way more about him. A lot of people on the left said the same thing. Like this is not like as much as we want to like throw it over to the conservatives. This is a much wider, bigger problem overall. And yeah.
White people.
Get
it together.
It's the white people TM. It's something I don't.
White people, the franchise. Fucking
franchise. Don't get it. What else do we got, ma'am?
So 300 men. There's a 300 men march that started.
I'm sorry. It sounds. I'm confused by what you're saying, Aaron. Maybe you heard her differently. I heard her say 300 man march.
Yeah, that was led by Leonidas, right?
Oh, are you talking about Sparta?
No, not Sparta.
We not. What the hell are we talking
300
about?
men march that began in Baltimore. They're walking 35 miles to D.C. to bring attention to the violence in Baltimore and to denounce violence in Baltimore. Okay. And you know the media loves to talk about what about black on black crime.
Okay.
And so here you got 300 Negroes that are walking 35 miles to denounce violence in their own community.
It's not 300? The name of the group is 300. Oh, the name of the group is 300 men.
Well, why the hell are they calling it 300 men march if there ain't 300 men marching? That doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Amani Gandhi, hard-hitting news professional, reading news stories.
Okay, all right. It was about 40 dudes.
Literally in the middle of the news story that she's reporting, she's like, what? What? This don't even make no damn sense. Why would they do such a thing? This is stupid. Amani, did you actually read the document beforehand? I'm like, I don't think, like, oh, they called that? That's silly.
Well, seriously, why don't they call it the 40 men march?
I don't know. Why don't you read the docket before you get on it?
I don't know, because maybe I only got it like 10 minutes before.
Nah, you didn't.
I did. You know it. Don't you lie on me, white woman.
Oh, wow.
Devil woman.
Oh, wow.
TMing me?
Oh, wow.
19 white woman TM. No, I'm white woman the player, not the franchise.
Oh, dear.
I'm pointing at you, lady. At any rate,
down.
the point is that the media has completely ignored this 40 to 300 men march. They are literally marching to denounce violence in Baltimore, and you got the media that's always complaining about black on black crime and y'all don't seem to care when it's black on black crime. Here you got 40 to 300 men that do care, and nothing.
40 to 300.
Seriously, why are you calling yourself the 300 men march if you ain't got 300 men marching?
Well, maybe it's not. Maybe the group.
Maybe there are 300 men in the group.
Maybe there's
but not all of them could march. They had jobs.
I feel like you should approach the group as opposed to just being just like yelling out. Like they are fighting for justice. They are fighting for against oppression, and you're just sitting there like
I'm fighting for properly named groups.
That's not an org.
.org.
Properly named groups.org.
Google it. Don't Google it.
You ask me, why are you asking me to do things if you told me that? This is the problem. This is the problem right here. Here's the problem right here.
This is the problem with America. Exactly.
We will not do this. We will not.
We might.
Guess what we're not doing?
Exactly.
What else do we have on the docket? By the way, my levels destroyed.
Of course. I don't give a shit about your levels, son.
I don't.
Julian Bond.
Your face is Julian Bond. Oh wait, actually no,
He
this
died,
is sad.
sir.
This is actually sad.
You made me laugh at a story about a beloved civil rights leader who died.
It's actually absolutely terrible and
Yeah.
sad, and he's done a lot of work.
He did a lot of work for the
It's just-
community,
yes.
for Black people. He was like, I think he found the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee.
He was one of the
or one of
co-founders
the
of
one of the co-founders. And I believe, to tie this to Bernie Sanders, that Bernie Sanders was involved with SNCC back in the day because he marched with King. Don't you know?
Wait, what? What?
I know.
Bernie Sanders marched with Martin Luther. No one told me this.
Not Martin Luther. That's the guy who banged the shit on the church doors. He marched with Martin Luther King, the black dude, not the white dude with the crazy with that belt, that bowl cut. Why do white people always have bowl cuts?
I just didn't know. Everything I would have done everything differently now.
Now
all
you
of my
know.
commentary, all of my critiques and everything. I would have been so different had I just known that he marched with King.
Yeah.
If someone would have just told me, if one person would have just said, "Hey, Elon, he marched with King. Were you aware that the fact that he marched with King, Aaron, forsooth, come forward. Did you know that Bernie Sanders? Wait for it. Hold on. It's coming. Marched with King.
My God.
My God.
My God.
My God. I would like to right now formally come out and say that I support Bernie Sanders for president based on nothing more than the fact that he marched with King. I assume that's what we were supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
I think
That's why they keep telling us.
Right?
Yeah.
That was the moment that everyone was waiting for, right?
Yeah.
Like that right there.
Yep. That's what they wanted.
That was the moment.
That's what they wanted.
Okay, cool.
But back to Julian Bond. He passed away, age 75. His wife, Pamela Sue Horowitz, said that the cause...
Wait, he was married to a white woman?
A Jewish white woman.
That's the problem right there.
That's the problem with Negro America.
I mean, he did all those other good stuff, but that erases it all.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
He the cause of death was complications of vascular disease.
How old was he? He was
75.
75. Oh, wow. He did. I mean, he really reached a reasonable age, but that's not even that old in America. I think my grandfather made it to 81 or 82, and he was racked with diabetes. Like he was just like what?
Racked with the beatus.
It's true. He lost a couple toes. He had it.
Why do you? Why do you lose feet and toes?
Because the circulation and everything, it gets bad, and yeah, it's a problem.
I'm also the national diabetes correspondent.
Just.
Are you affiliated loosely affiliated with Wilford Brimley? I
like that
presume.
Diabetes matter.
I need you to stop whatever you're doing. I also like the fact that now that Robin's not in the room flailing in the background, now Emily is in the room flailing in the background. Okay. I'm not flailing off microphone. And it's hot. It's hot as hell in here. At the moment, it still happens that our brand new podcast studio happens to be the one office in the entire space that it's like a giant space that the offices are here, and the one space that isn't air conditioned. This right here. So if you see me like patting myself, it's because I'm hot.
He's sweating like Samuel L. Jackson in here.
I am not sweating like
yes,
that.
you are. Put on a tank top and go outside and start yelling about white people. I hope they burn in hell. Come on, Elon, do it. You know you wanna. You know you wanna. Moving on. A bunch of Confederate flag-loving bikers waved guns and knives at Black Lives Matter protesters during a Florida rally recently. Because that's fun. There was a rally. There about there have been Confederate flag lovers who have been holding rallies ever since the Charleston shooting, Dylan Roof, and the subsequent removal of the Confederate flag in South Carolina. I believe Alabama also removed it, and there are a lot of people who just aren't happy about it. So a bunch of people took to the road in Florida. There was a counter protest. There were police who were standing in between the protesters and the counter protesters. The protesters were talking about, oh, the flag is just about Southern heritage. We're not the KKK. It's just about loving a flag. And I know that some people see it as a symbol of oppression, but this is just about our heritage. And protesters were yelling back at them, fuck your flag, Black Lives Matter, and said that this flag-loving event feeds into a racist, oppressive system. which, I agree with. But an individual named Brian K. Turner of the Sons of Confederate Veterans says, quote, "We do not condone racism or hate groups. We believe there is no correlation between the massacre in South Carolina and symbolism. What needs to be discussed is mental illness of the accused shooter."
God.
Because that's what we always talk about when white dudes go on a rampage is mental illness. Not... the fact that he was pictured with Rhodesian flags on his jacket, or that he had draped himself in the Confederate flag, or that he had written this manifesto where he talked about how much he hated black people, or the fact that when he was in the church, he told the black people in the church that he was shooting them because they were black and because
none of that mattered.
Yeah, but he was mentally ill.
I mean, and here's the thing. I'm not arguing whether or not the man was mentally ill. I don't think that's actually a reasonable. That's not the hill I want to die on. But I do find it interesting that anytime that happens, immediately they're mentally ill. But then other folks, in fact, are not mentally ill. There's other folks can be evil. Other people can have malice in their heart. But most times when white folks do something really terrible, somehow they are in fact mentally ill, and it's a little bit problematic. And also at the same time, I believe that every time they use the whole mentally ill thing, it's so easy to just like say, nope, we don't really have to deal with the issue. We don't have to deal with the problem here. They were mentally ill, and that's not really really reasonable, especially when we live in a society where the mentally ill, mental health is not really dealt with here seriously at all. People are not being in all honesty, that should be one of the biggest things that we make sure people have is mental health care.
Yeah.
I mean, and I thank God with Obamacare, you can at least get something dealt with. But then half the time, half the places that use that take insurance aren't really good at that. Like, to get a real good mental health professional, you still have to a lot of times come out of pocket pretty heavy unless you have amazing healthcare insurance. But yeah, it's something that I really wish that was dealt with a little bit more and a little bit better. And as opposed to trying to make that a scapegoat every time something happens, why don't you actually try to deal with mental health? And then maybe when you have these conversations, it wouldn't seem like you're full of shit.
That makes too much sense, Elon. We should just blame. He had a case of the crazies.
I mean, why? I mean, obviously.
That's all it is, really.
I got nothing. What else do we have, madam?
LeBron James.
I've heard of this gentleman. We're not related.
He's decided to pay for 1,100 kids to go to college. He's starting a scholarship.
That's lovely.
Yeah, it's called the I Promise program. They'll be awarded a scholar for each child that completes his quote I Promise program. They'll be awarded a scholarship to the University of Akron. Now, I only hope that this doesn't turn out as badly as that episode of The Office, which I know you don't watch, but some of our listeners do, when Michael Scott said that he was going to send a bunch of black kids to college, and then he didn't do it. And then it was very sad, but he had only done it because, he wanted to feel good about himself. And instead he gave them all, I believe, iPad cases, which was really bad. So hopefully LeBron James is a little bit more wealthy than poor Michael Scott, portrayed by...
I could be speaking out of my ass, and I believe Aaron will correct me. He is, in fact, the host of Sports Ball with Aaron Rand Freeman, right here on SWIB FM. I assume that he let me know LeBron James has
some money,
a tad bit of money,
a few dollars.
Am I off on this, Aaron?
See, I think he has. He's got to have over $100 million now. He signed his Nike, his contract. Yeah, he should have over $100 million right now. And those are the only, like I said, his advertising and then his thing, and it could be other stuff. Over $100 million. He can swing it.
All right, good.
Well, the first class to be able to receive these scholarships will graduate high school in 2021. 1,200 students are expected to join the I Promise program over the next 4 years. Children will enter the program in the 3rd grade. According to ESPN, which reported on this new program, students will be required to complete the program and fulfill both attendance and grade requirements to be eligible. So I think I think it's great. I think it's great. You got $100 million lying around in a shoebox somewhere. Send some little kids to college.
This has always been my argument about the amount of money that athletes make. You don't need a lot of that money to make a difference. You throw $100,000 or $80,000, a certain amount of money can start 1/50th of your salary can start a business or send someone to college. A very small amount of it can do that. So I've never understood why this doesn't happen more often, to be honest with you. Kudos to LeBron.
Yeah, kudos to LeBron. LeBron. Can't even speak properly.
LeBron? Really?
I said LeBron.
Yeah, and at least this is something where he's not getting dragged about? Because doesn't LeBron constantly get in trouble over something? People are always mad at him about something. Is that because he's that the whole thing about him being really good at basketball? That people are really mad at him?
I think that's it. And also because he left Cleveland. I think people were really mad when he left Cleveland.
No, he's a successful black person.
And then also, yeah. Also, he's black.
Is that it, Aaron? Just like successful Negro, that's a problem?
When you're too successful of a black person, people are just like, I don't know about you, successful black person. I don't know. That's generally been the general sentiment about LeBron since he came out. I was like, I don't know. Remember, I always say this about LeBron. He's probably the first athlete that is as advertised. Because remember, we said he's going to be this great when he was 13. He's now, I think, 30. And he is exactly what we said was going to happen 100%. He's actually better than we thought. It rarely ever happens in sports. So then the haters are out and they will never go away as a result. He's like a prince almost. He's like a prince that was supposed to be the king, and he turned out to be awesome like Thor, and it worked out well for everybody involved. All
right. Well, thank you for that very in-depth sports analysis there, Mr. Aaron Rand Freeman, from hosting Sports Ball with Aaron Rand Freeman right here on Twib FM on Wednesdays. We're going to stop doing that. Or actually, we have to record all new commercials. It's gonna we have so much work to do in order for this to stay on. And I hope that and please, we love the feedback you might have about our current video setup, because like I said, we still haven't actually gotten our possible TV studio. We're still working on that working out. But this is our current our new broadcast, at least audio broadcast space that I've now rigged up to kind of go for video. So let us know what you think. We'll hopefully be putting this out as a podcast also on on iTunes. You'll see it connected there, and we're going to be playing around with this new platform. I didn't broadcast live there today, Amani, but there's a new platform called Fire Talk that people are using that allows for archive stuff playing, and then you can connect live and do some new and better stuff like this. Like we'll be able to basically interrupt our own stream of old episodes with our live program, and then cut back, and then immediately it goes right back to some other Twib affiliated or Twib approved comment stuff. What are you saying, Alan?
Sir, we're getting a call. Can I connect the call even though we're on video, or what?
Well, let's see what happens, because I was about to shut it off and I have no clue who's calling, so let's see what happens.
There we go.
Oh, God.
All right, we're on.
Twib Prime, who is this and where are you calling from?
What up, y'all? It's Rod.
Really? Really, Rod? Yeah. Really, Rod? Is that what's happening?
Chilling. Hey, man, I don't know if you guys heard the good news today, but just wanted to let you guys know Bernie Sanders did march with Martin Luther King.
Seriously, Rod?
Wait, what, Rod? Hold on, because this is do we have breaking music sounds or something like that? I need to so you're telling me, Rod, that Bernie Sanders, the man who's currently running for president against it, he marched with Martin Luther King Jr. Not King, because his dad, fuck his dad, Jr.
Yep.
Yes, he's changed. This changes everything about the election as we know it as black people.
Rod, I think
marched with Martin Luther King Jr.
Rod, I think we're gonna have to start a new group, and we're gonna have to call it Black Podcasters for Bernie Sanders, where we speak out and we say listen, guys, we didn't know. We didn't know. When Rod started that hashtag, Bernie's so black, when the whole ad to Bernie to everything, all of that, none of this, our commentary was just, it was just wrong. We didn't understand the issue. We didn't understand the situation.
I did not know, man. He also supported Jesse Jackson's bid for president.
What?
Wait, what? He supported Jesse Jackson?
When Jesse Jackson ran for president in 1988? You're telling me.
The Rainbow Coalition.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
And Jesse Jackson is I don't know if Jesse Jackson is black.
I've heard that. Yeah.
I've heard rumors about this. I didn't have confirmation on Mr. Jackson and his ethnicity, but I heard that he might have been black at some point in time. And now you're telling me that Sanders supported not one, but multiple Negroes?
Multiple Negroes. This has been confirmed as of today.
Oh my God! Well, you know what, Rod? Thank you for this breaking news and calling in. We did not know, and now that we know, knowing's half the battle. G.I. Joe, we shall move forward.
No problem, guys. Y'all have a good day.
You too, Rod Prime for the black guy who tips. letting us know that holy crap.
Holy
crap.
Called in like ain't no thing. God bless Rob. Absolutely. For one, I'm grateful for Rod. I'm grateful for everything that he does. I'm glad that I can go home tonight and sleep better knowing that Bernie marched with King. It changes
People
everything.
keep bothering Bernie Sanders then. Come on, guys.
Aaron, where'd your camera go?
My camera should be right back here in a moment.
Aaron just let his whole camera go away, so you have to redo that. Oh, look, Aaron's back now. That's nice. Except for he's gone again. All right, you know what? This is clearly telling me, Aaron, that we just need to go home. Oh, look at you. There you are.
Oh, we're back.
There you go. We're gonna have to go. Aaron, watch out for that. All right, folks. We've blown past our time, and we still have to get this stuff up and running. Aaron, have we been sufficiently black?
Yes, we have, sir.
Imani, have we been sufficiently what?
Not as black as Bernie Sanders.
You were so right, Imani. Have we been as black as we can be without being co-signed by Bernie Sanders?
I think we've probably been. I think Bernie Sanders might be a little bit disappointed in the level of blackness on this show, but Mr. Sanders, if you're listening, we're doing what we can. Thank you for marching with King. We support you.
Sorry, Mr. Sanders. Sorry.
We'll do better next time. We'll try to do better tomorrow.
We will work on this. Thank you guys for listening. We will be back here tomorrow. We'll hopefully be adding even more bells and whistles and what have you to our video broadcast stream. Thank you for listening. Have a pleasant evening.
So from now on, whenever you hear these horns, just know you are now entering the blackness. Collard greens, cornbread, and the catfish. Malcolm X and Dr. King with a black fist. We all laugh some, this is blackness. You are now entering the blackness. Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, and the classics. Real love, the opposite of ratchet. We all laugh some, this is blackness.